Good one. Get it.
That might be in the hole.
Don Legate looks like any other golfer at the club.
Yeah,
Great
Don.
golf shot.
Yeah, that could jump up there.
Go.
But Maestro, as he's called, can't see nearly as well as you and I. In fact, he can barely see at all.
I can tell from the minute I hit it if it's going to be good.
He's just like the icon of this golf course.
Last month, he became one of the oldest golfers in history to score a hole-in-one, his 17th ace over 50 years of golf. He couldn't do it without his son, who serves as his eyes.
Left of the hump, left of the ridge. Right up your alley, Maestro. Now we're going down, incline.
Maestro lost his sight a few years ago, but was determined to swing a club again.
I never once thought of giving the game up.
It's amazing how he can picture the hole from 15, 20 years ago and remember it.
If I know where the flag is, it's just like I can see it.
Of course, Maestro isn't perfect all the time.
Oh, shoot!
I'm thinking of going back to work.
But he says if blindness hasn't stopped him, nothing will. In Sedona, Brandon Klein, 2 News.
All right, get back there.
Ryan Shea dreamt of Olympic gold, a 9-time All-American and national champion. But to the Flagstaff community, he was just Ryan.
There are so many folks in Flagstaff who knew Ryan and really wanted to come together to honor him and to share in the grief.
Shea collapsed and died earlier this month at the 2008 Olympic trials in New York City.
Even though Ryan has left his body, he will always be with us in spirit. And that is the one thing we will take with us.
At tonight's memorial, friends and fellow athletes walked the same path Ryan trained on so many times.
This is a place that everyone knows and is comfortable in and has great memories here at the park, so we felt like this would be a fitting place to be with Ryan.
Shea made Flagstaff his training choice because of the high elevation. Coaches and trainers focusing on the other athletes now to keep them on track in the midst of tragedy.
We're just trying to support them and show them the loving and caring community that we have here in Flagstaff.
In Flagstaff, Brandon Klein, 2 News. They lined up at 8 a.m. trying to grab first chair to kick off the ski season at Arizona Snow Bowl.
We just did one run and it was fresh. It was nice, groomed, probably like 2 feet of powder.
Hundreds of Snow Bowl employees have been working over the last week to get the ski area up and running for their first December Open in 3 seasons.
It was just pouring and pouring, and it's like the most snow they've had in like forever.
It's pretty sick, actually.
People say they've been thinking about this since the first snow began falling.
As soon as it started to snow, I was like, we're going up. You don't have a choice.
Pretty sunny, the snow's nice, the lines aren't that long.
It's a busy time, not just on the slopes.
The restaurants up here are jammed, and the hotels in town are booked up. You can't beat it. I mean, it's positive for everybody.
The recent storm left lots of powder, more than many of these skiers and snowboarders have seen in a while.
It's phenomenal. This is snow that we would typically have in January.
In Flagstaff, Brandon Klein, 12 News.
Wow. Absolutely fantastic.
You no longer need a helicopter to get a great view of the Grand Canyon.
Very deep. Jeez. I didn't bring my parachute. Oh.
The Wallapai Tribe's Glass Skywalk is open for business at the West Rim. Thousands from all over the world showed up for the grand opening and the chance to walk 4,000 feet above the Colorado River.
Wow! Oh my God, is it gorgeous? Wow.
Guests are required to wear shoe covers so they don't scratch the glass.
Holy mackerel, that is, I skydived, and this is equal. You're seeing your feet and 4,000 feet down below you. That's incredible.
If you have a difficult time with heights, you might have a hard time taking your hand away from the rail. Because some people, like me, have a difficult time looking straight down.
I would like to get over.
I really am having a hard time. It's beautiful if you look straight out.
The tribe hopes their $40 million investment will encourage people to visit the less popular West Rim. Pam Wamser was the first one to do so and had a hard time describing the experience.
I've got my breath back.
This cliff up here, see if you can find the face of the man in the moon.
Oh, it's right up there!
Seeing a picture in a book is nearly not the same as seeing it in actual life.
There are some of the children who become fascinated by it.
So amazing.
We try and reinforce the message that we need to preserve the past for the future. Well, this is where the ceiling used to be. The guides who do it on a volunteer basis.
These Southern Sonoran Indians left two kinds of artwork out here in the Sedona area.
A petroglyph is something that's carved into the wall, and a pictograph is something that's drawn on the wall.
There was these like boxes with squiggly lines.
These people looked at this environment. This was their grocery store and their Walmart and their Home Depot.
What we're learning today from our Pink Jeep guides really covers a lot of curricular areas.
That's the most rewarding part of it, is you get a note back from one of these kids that says, I was, touched by something that you might have thought of as being very insignificant. They might come here again with their own children one day.
Skimming high above the treetops, members of the Kaibab National Forest Wildfire Hell Attack Crew prepare to practice dropping firefighters and supplies into a remote fire scene.
Mainly it's for getting into inaccessible areas, places that the engines can't get to.
On solid ground, Hell Attack crew members double-check all of their safety gear before taking a flight to the drop zone.
We do several checks before we even get in a helicopter. We check each other, we check ourselves, we check our equipment, someone else checks our equipment.
More than 20 stories in the air, two firefighters drop their ropes out the sides of the chopper, step out onto the skids, and rappel down to the forest below.
You start sliding down, and you just get down and look for your spot, make sure you're in a good landing zone, and you're all set. It's pretty fun.
With monsoon storms typically arriving in the next few weeks, the crew says they'll have the best way to jump from one lightning strike fire to another.
With a helicopter, you can get to quite a few different fires in one day, as opposed to driving around through the road system. So it's really good at keeping the fire small.
Near Williams, Nathan Ryder, 12 News.
Even professional athletes are not always prepared for the change of elevation in Flagstaff.
When we first got here, it was really hard.
Any little hill when we were biking or running, you start breathing really hard.
But this Canadian triathlete team has discovered the high elevation is not the hardest part of an Olympic workout in Flagstaff. At NEU's Center for High Altitude Training, the athletes are put in a 95-degree room.
We get absolutely no say in what we do. It's all up to the big guy. He tells us what to do, and we say, okay.
The big guy is the coach, trying to get his athletes' core temperatures to hit more than 100 degrees.
What happens is their body gets better at shedding heat, your sweat composition changes, and you're prepared for those kind of conditions.
To help monitor their body temperature, they swallow a computer chip encased in a small pill. Their vitals can be measured while cycling, running, and swimming.
Your 0.2 up.
Seems fun at first, but then you realize just more work for you.
It's the best way to do it because it's the farthest inside.
The center is an official Olympic training site that attracts athletes from all over the globe, giving a leg up to athletes at any altitude.
Even though we're at 7,000 feet, when we go back down to sea level, we're going to see pretty big changes, so it's pretty exciting.
In Flagstaff, Brandon Klein, 12 News.